So the bank we had just dropped us like a ball of rocks with a phone call and canceled all our accounts because apparently corporate found out we had our hemp permit and they weren't interested in doing business. Put us in a really big bind in a really quick fashion.
That's Herb Grove from Brush Mountain in Center County, Pennsylvania. This is the Lancaster Farming Industrial Hemp Podcast. Hi there, my name is Eric Hurlock. Welcome back to the Hemp Show. Today's show is in 3 acts about what it means to claim the future of hemp, not wait for it, not ask permission for it, but claim it. Because whether you're building a coalition, launching a certification system, or just trying to hold on to your livelihood, the fight for hemp's future is real and it's happening right now. Today we're going to hear 3 stories from 3 corners of the hemp world, each one showing what it takes to push this industry forward despite the noise, the stigma, and the roadblocks. In Act 1, we go to Virginia, where now the month of June has officially become Virginia Hemp Month. I'll be talking to a couple of grassroots advocates who are working to reclaim the word hemp.
We're trying to really separate industrial hemp from all cannabinoid-bearing hemp and cannabis.
In Act 2, we talk to Eric Singular, who's helping launch a global certification program that could give fiber hemp something it's never really had: verifiable credibility in the global supply chain.
Every fiber that is used in clothing and apparel and home textiles has certification around it. And hemp was kind of a territory that really no one had developed anything for.
And in Act 3, we head back to Brush Mountain, where just having a hemp permit cost Herb Grove his bank accounts last year. So frustrating. Anyway, that's our show today, right after these messages. Our show is made possible this week with support from I&D Hemp in Fort Benton, Montana, where they believe in the goodness of hemp. Check them out at indhemp.com. And also King's Agri-Seeds here in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, where hemp specialist Sarah Mitchell is working hard for the industry. And stay tuned, there will be an announcement, hopefully in a few weeks, about a hemp event here in Pennsylvania in August, hosted by King's Agri-Seeds. And also, today's show is brought to you with support from Forever Green, distributors of the KP4 hemp cutter. Check them out at hempcutter.com. All right, welcome back. Act 1, Virginia Hemp Month. So June, as you know, is Hemp History Month. Right? And that's a great reminder that hemp has been with us for a really, really long time. But this year, a group of folks in Virginia, they've decided to push it a step further, turning it into something that isn't just about the past, but about the future. Right? And Virginia, much like Pennsylvania, has a really rich history with hemp. You know, in Virginia, they've got George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and all of these super cool things. So today, we're going to talk to Joe Domino and Scott McStacy from the Virginia Hemp Coalition about what they've got in store to celebrate hemp in Virginia in the month of June. I'm here with Joe Domino and Scott McStacy, and you guys are in Virginia. So I wonder if we can just give us a quick intro, Joe, and then Scott.
All right, my name is Joe Domino. I am one of the marketing directors with Redfern Hemp Company. We're located in Caroline County, and we're also members of the Virginia Hemp Coalition, which is a statewide grassroots advocacy group. We pushed for legalization here in Virginia very early on once the Farm Bill was passed federally. It was 2019. And Virginia Hemp Month is kind of the evolution of now we're really trying to get other people to join the coalition, environmental groups and hempcrete enthusiasts.
All right. Scott, quick introduction.
I'm Scott McStacy. I live here in Virginia. I'm also in the Virginia Hemp Coalition as a board member. We recently opened a group called the Virginia Hemp Coalition Industrial Hemp Working Group. And what we're doing is we're trying to really separate industrial hemp from all cannabinoid-bearing hemp and cannabis.
You're speaking my language, Scott. You're speaking my language.
Yes. And you know, this language is important because we have been held back for so long, and that doesn't need to happen anymore. And so that's some of the things that we're working on here in Virginia.
All right. So June is Hemp History Month, and now we learn it's also Virginia Hemp Month, right? So that's super cool. So I know Virginia, like Pennsylvania, has a really deep old history with colonial usage of hemp. So what's in store for Virginia Hemp Month? Like what are we doing? How are we going to celebrate this?
So the idea was to tap into that Virginia history. I mean, Colonial Williamsburg, I got to give them a lot of credit because they've done a lot of the groundwork of bringing this history back to the forefront. Like George Washington's field tent was made out of hemp rope and linens. So yeah, we're really trying to focus on the culture and also what Scott was saying, the industrial side of the plant, the environmental side of the plant. And we just feel like it's getting lost in the conversation because of the cannabinoids.
Yeah, it feels like they've co-opted the word hemp. Hemp has meant this one thing for 1,000 years, but then, it also means it's like a drift, a semantic drift that's happening. And I feel like, I don't know, that's a battle I'm waging right now, like to hold on to the word hemp and to, get people to realize that hemp is not weed. Anyway, so what kind of things are you guys planning this month that, maybe listeners can come join in on? Like, how do people get in on the celebrations of Virginia Hemp Month?
So 2 weekends this month, we're going to be holding a hempcrete workshop on the farm with Red Fern Farms. We're going to be building a small outhouse, actually, out of hempcrete on a hemp farm. So it's going to be a lot of fun. That's the 14th and 15th, as well as the 28th and 29th.
Well, that's cool. And then I understand there is maybe a screening of the Green Buffalo film. Can we talk about that?
Sure. So June 25th in the historic Ashland Theater, we will be viewing the Green Buffalo, and we'll have panels. And I've actually asked Danny to be there via internet.
Danny Desjardins from the Lower Sioux Indian
From the
community.
Lower Sioux, correct, yeah. See, I have a very special relationship with the Lower Sioux. Danny is the first person that I called to get help with hempcrete.
Oh,
and
okay.
He took my call, and he not only helped me, he mentored me. And I flew out there before I met you a few months and trained with those guys. And then I came back for the grand opening when we met.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And he
really is.
They're such an inspiration to all of us.
Yeah,
100%.
Talk about hope and resiliency and just the right attitude. And that's how we're going to get to the new paradigm, is by following people like Danny Desjardins.
And we also believe that the movie itself is going to be a great mechanism to get the Virginia federally recognized tribes involved. They've been thinking about hemp and things of that nature, but they really haven't explored it seriously.
All right. So what should people be doing if they want to come down and spend some time celebrating hemp in Virginia this month?
So there's a website, virginiahempmonth.com, and on there you see all the events scheduled. We have a bee workshop the 21st. So we're actually on the Red Fern Farm. We have some beehives, and we're working with the Ashland Beekeeper Association. So they're going to be doing a whole workshop, and you can come see, put on the bee suit and things like that and see the hemp growing. But then we'll also have a brewery event where the whole Virginia Hemp Coalition will be coming out at the Center of the Universe Brewery in Ashland, Virginia. And then we're wrapping up with the Hempcrete Workshop, like Scott said, the 28th and the 29th. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, virginiahempmonth.com. And if you want to see the coalition, that's vahemp.org.
All right, great. I will put both of those links on the show page. Tell me a bit about Red Fern Farm.
Yeah, so Graham Redfern, I'll have to say I met him. We were lobbying about 8 years ago, and he's never stopped since. So he is vertically integrated. So he also wants to grow for cannabinoids, but he also wants to figure out how we can do that alongside the fiber, alongside the stock business, because we work a lot with farmers as well. No one's going to grow 1,000 acres if you have to take the risk of chopping down your crop if it goes hot. So we do think these things need to find their own independent lane. But here in Virginia, we're under the Virginia Department of Agriculture, Consumer Services.
Okay.
We sell great products, the tinctures and things like that. But we want to get into bedding products and chicken feed and things like
Okay.
that. So,
All right. Yeah. I mean, I want to be clear that I'm not anti-cannabinoids at all, right? Like, I love the cannabinoids, full spectrum. Absolutely. But I guess my issue is that, let's maybe not call them hemp.
It takes up all the air in the room. I mean, and this is why we want the Virginia Hemp Month to be focused more on. There's a big environmental movement in Virginia, and we want to bring these folks in the fold because hemp was meant for them, not smoke shops.
Well, I applaud your efforts to move the needle in Virginia. So, Joe Domino and Scott McStacy, thank you so much for joining me here today on the show.
Thank you, Eric.
All right, so that was Joe Domino and Scott McStacy from the Virginia Hemp Coalition. So if you want to celebrate hemp in Virginia this month, here's a recap of what they've got going on. There's a couple of hempcrete workshops at Red Fern Farm this weekend, June 14th and 15th, and then the last weekend in June, the 28th and 29th. There's a bee workshop, June 21st, and there's a screening of the Green Buffalo Patagonia film at the historic Ashland Theater on June 25th. You can find all the details at virginiahempmonth.com. All right, I'll have a link on the show page for that episode.